to the show. It's Becca and Shayla. Hey,
You a rap artist now?
girl, you feel me? If listen, half these people who are in the industry, I can too.
Okay, there you go. You gotta believe in yourself. Period.
Okay, if not you, then who will?
That part. That's
But
the way
welcome back,
to
y'all.
live life.
No, literally. Welcome back, y'all. This is episode 35. Yes, 35. Okay, we getting close to 40. We getting there. Okay. But yes, guys, welcome back. And if you are new here, welcome to Too Much
With Shey.
and Becca. Okay.
I
I was
was
like,
waiting for you to say with.
I got you. My fault. It's my fault.
It's okay.
But yes, guys, if you are new here and if you are reoccurring, welcome back to all the shenanigans with both me and Shayla. Y'all, we got a lot to talk about today. But first, as always, let's get into our weekly rundown. What's happening? Yes, y'all. So I think I made you go first last week.
Yeah, it's your turn to go first.
Okay. All right. Back up first. Like, stop. No, but I took a page out of your book because I'm like, there's times where like we're talking and I'm like, yo, what happened this week? And a lot of times, like my weeks kind of are like mundane. Like I go to work, I come home, and I do the same stuff. But what I do like to share with y'all is like the thoughts that I be having throughout the week because it's like I'm funny in my head. And like my best moments of funniness are like in my points of irritation. So the first thing that I've been dealing with this week, I forgot that I had been summoned for jury duty. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I forgot and remembered just in time because you have to fill out this whole questionnaire like a week in advance and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, bet, got you. So I did my questionnaire. First of all, I've always wanted to be like, I love crime dramas. Like, if you know me, y'all know I love crime dramas. And if you ever need a recommendation, let me know below. I could give you one. And if you really, honestly, this is like, I'm going to give you a free recommendation right now. The Mentalist. I love The Mentalist down. I've watched that show like 8 times back to back to back to back. And like 8 times is being generous because it definitely could be 15. But like, I just love that show down. Like Patrick Jane, he's the reason why I look at the bottom of the shoes of people in wheelchairs. Like he is the reason. Like I love that.
In case you're wondering, no, I've never watched the show. So I can't give an input on this.
No, you're right. But I'm telling you, from someone who don't even like TV like that for real, I love that show. Okay. And obviously Criminal Minds, we love that, but whatever. Okay. So I've always loved like those murder mysteries and stuff like that. And my goal in life is to be a part of a murder trial. Like I want to be a part of the jury in a murder trial. So it's like, they're going to let me know by today at 4:30 p.m. on if I am going to be selected for the jury. And the thing is, I don't know if it's going to be like a murder trial or it could be like some type of consumer's case if I'm selected. But fingers crossed, if I do get selected, it's something real juicy because 9 times out of 10, sometimes the villain isn't always the villain in my book. But maybe that's why they wouldn't pick me. But I would like Shayla, imagine me on your jury. I feel like I'll be good.
Well, first of all, you wouldn't because you know me, so that's a conflict of interest.
All right, girl. Like you don't have to be the like. Okay.
Well, I'm not even gonna entertain that because if they wouldn't allow it.
Sometimes Shayla be too literal, bro. Okay,
That's
so
Shayla.
then the next thing I wanted to talk about, as we as a nation are naturally divisive, right? Like we're automatically divided when it comes to certain things. But one thing out of a few things, but one main thing I know we don't play about is Selena. I don't know why that lady thought the lady what was her name? Yolanda? Yeah, I don't know why Yolanda thought that she could get early parole. Sis, it's safer if you stay behind them gates. It's better if you stay back out there, in there, okay? You coming outside, baby, we all 10 toes. You got blacks, whites, like Hispanics, everybody coming after you. Like, it's better if you stay right up in there. You talk about you fear for your life in there. Baby, these hands ain't lighting outside, okay? Don't play with us, okay? That's one thing I know we will stand 10 toes about. next thing, right? I'm entering my health journey. You know, I went to the doctors. You know, we've been doing stuff. First off, I went to my what's it called again? Physician,
Primary doctor.
Yes, I finally found a primary. I told you I was going to get into that, and I was going to get on that, and look what I did. Exactly. So I was telling her, because like I'm peanut sensitive or nut sensitive. I don't know, because apparently there's a difference. But like I don't know which kind of nuts, peanuts, whatever it is that I'm allergic to, but I know I'm allergic to one of the groups. So I just stay away from them all. So I was telling her that, and I was telling her how I'm allergic to chapsticks, but I'm not allergic to lipsticks. And like we were just looking at each other. So long story short, she gave me a referral for an allergist. And she was like, you know, do you have an EpiPen? I said, you mean the thing that they be jabbing into their legs? She was like, yeah. I was like, no. She's like, yeah, you gonna get one of them. So now I got a whole EpiPen. So Shayla, as my former nursing, nursing kid, get ready to stab me in the leg if we ever get into that type of situation. Okay.
Girl, you have to know how to do this yourself, sis.
What? This is me? I gotta do this myself?
Yes.
Somebody else doesn't do it?
You can do it to yourself.
Why would I purposely stab myself?
Because if you have an allergic reaction, you want to be able to breathe and.
But I was telling her, I was
live
like, my
life.
mouth just get itchy and stuff like that. She's like,
Yeah, but it's also like, let's say you do find that peanut that you are actually allergic to, and you get like not a minimal allergic reaction, you get that full blown thing. You want to be able to have this EpiPen to save you.
Yep. Just know in the club, I'm about to have this on me. Like, what? I'm whipping this thing.
Okay, don't be dramatic about it now. Because knowing Rebecca, now she wanna everywhere she go, hi, do you know I have an EpiPen?
I'm like, just in
Girl,
case you don't, get
please.
ready to stab me in the right thigh, not the left one. Okay. And so the last few things I want to mention, I've been seeing this thing on TikTok, and it actually, we need to stop as a society. Caviar is not an everyday type of meal. I see people putting caviar on pizza. Talk about, oh, this is a delicacy. Y'all just don't understand. You're absolutely right. I don't understand because, first off, outside of my tax bracket. Two, y'all just eating fish eggs on pizza. That's damn near worse than pineapple on pizza. Like, come on, let's go as a society. Let's develop, let's grow, and come to an understanding that caviar is not an everyday meal. Y'all tossing it on stuff like it's a piece of butter, like it's like a slab of like jelly. Like, no, like, come on, come
I've
on.
never had caviar, so I don't.
I have, and
Is it
it's just,
good? I don't. What does it taste like?
it tastes like, I don't. It's just salty and fishy to me. But it's like
Why?
people
Why
are
is
just,
it expensive though?
girl, that's a great question. Let's ask, because I couldn't tell you. Why is caviar
Or
expensive?
maybe that's just my like when I think caviar, I think people say it's expensive, but maybe it's not. I just have that like.
Caviar's high price stems from the rarity of the surgeon fish, the labor intensive harvesting and processing, and the high demand for this luxury food. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's expensive, and you just tossing it on a Domino's pizza. Like, come on now. The two plus two not equaling four
I feel
here.
like I lost you. Oh, okay. You froze for a hot sec, but
Oh,
you
I
back.
did?
Yeah, but it's okay. You back.
Oh, do you think I froze for everybody else?
We'll see.
Well, let me just repeat it then. You can
No,
never
you.
say
It's okay. You do not need to repeat.
no,
Caviar,
but
it's too expensive. It doesn't need to be on pizza.
exactly. You eating a Domino's pizza and you got a 200 like $2,500 caviar on your pizza. Like, you think you upscale now? Girl. Anyway. And then, right, last thing I think. Yeah, I think this is the last one. Also, I think I officially, y'all know, like, I'm low key a planner. Like, I'm a planner in terms of like my future, like my children, my this, my that. And I've officially picked a theme for my 27th birthday. And it's going to be called, Shayla, are you ready? Give me a drum roll. Ready? She's such a gem. Because okay, getting it, that's gonna be the theme. She's such a gem. I have a lot of outfits that I've been finding while looking for stuff for Puerto Rico, and a lot of the stuff has like gems and stuff on it. And I'm like, that's just like a cute little double entendre, okay? Because like she's such a gem. I'm gonna be wearing gems, but also I'm a Gemini. So it's just like, you get what I say.
I'm happy that you found your thing.
Okay. And I just want to, like, Shayla doesn't believe me when I say this, but like, I feel like Shayla's like, oh, Rebecca, like you are obsessed with your birthday and stuff like that. But honestly, I really be the saddest on my birthday. But I think because of how I am naturally, like very extra, very dramatic, very like, yeah, yippity yap yap.
Mm-hmm.
I think I go all out for my birthday because that's what's expected. You get what I'm saying?
Nothing is expected. It's
But it's just
your
like,
day.
I
You do
feel
what you want. What?
it's just, I feel like it's an expectation because I
That you set
naturally am
yourself? No one is setting standards for someone else's birthday.
right. And that's probably, you're right. It's probably my own expectations
Right.
that I think other people have for me. But I feel like because of that, that's why I be doing like 12,000 different things for my birthday.
Well, from your friend, there are no expectations. Whatever you want to do is what, if you just want to go out for dinner, that's okay.
Oh,
You do not need to be going.
what if I told you for my birthday, one of the things that I want to do is I want us to do a cake decorating class.
Okay, that's fine. I tell Rebecca, I let Rebecca down, but she want to do from like Thursday to the Monday. That's not me. I'm like, pick one day and I'll show up for that one day. Rebecca
She
want to
showed
have
up for
a whole
two of the
thing.
days last year. It's okay. It's okay. But I just want to, before I let you go, right? So this is going to be a concert type of year. Shayla and I got Beyonce coming up in May. We got Friday. If y'all know who he
Mhm.
is, y'all know who my Haitian brethren is. Yes. We're going to see him in June. I'm going to see Chris Brown, Bryson Tiller.
Okay, on that note, whatever happened to Chris Brown being canceled? Is he no longer? Because he's been on the come up. Everybody loves him now. Well, not
I
everybody.
feel like his cancellation was always like divisive. I'm going for Bryson Tiller. I love that cheater down. Okay.
Okay, so are you gonna walk out when Chris Brown shows up or
No,
what?
because I went to Chris Brown's concert last year. I
Okay, so
to me,
you're did you ever cancel him?
I've always felt indifferent about him. But I'm also the type of person, like, when it comes to this whole Chris Brown situation where people talk about, like, oh, like he beat up Rihanna, this, that, and the third. I'm like, they've both said in separate interviews that they did it to each other. It's like, if y'all gonna feel some type of way about Chris Brown, yes, he beat the mess out of Rihanna, but y'all better feel the same way about Rihanna too. But y'all don't feel that way. And in terms of him being a colorist, I don't want that man. So to me, him, like, to the people who are obsessed with him and want to get in his sections and want to get all the attention from him, y'all know what it is already when it comes to that man. Me personally, I look at you as the artist and I go about my day. I have never been obsessed with Chris Brown to the point where I'm like, oh my God, like I can't believe, like, to me, it's never been that way.
Okay, good to know. Noted.
Also, Shayla, we'll talk about this off camera for sure, but we might be going to Summer Jam. But go ahead, tell us your week.
So for my week, if you watched last week's episode, we talk about this influencer who is going viral for just doing the most on his morning routine. And guess what I got today at ShopRite?
Girl, you stupid.
I got the viral. Y'all would not believe how much this cost.
What?
Nearly $3. I tasted it. Disgusting. Um, like it's actually, I'm like, I see why he dumped his face because I cannot drink this water. Stick to Poland Spring. And I know we're in the microplastics era, but Poland Spring, we need you to put this in a glass bottle because there's so many reports coming out now about microplastics and it's bad for you and all of that. So that's my one note. This $3 bottle, a scam, can't drink it. Poland Spring, Poland Sprung, Poland Spring, please change the packaging from plastic to glass. I will pay the extra money for it. Thank you. So
Y'all don't understand how weak I am. You so stupid.
I had to try it. And I don't get influenced like that. But I said, you know what? Let me try that. And it was nasty, actually.
Yo, what it tastes
Um,
like? What it tastes like?
just it tastes nasty. I
Is
don't
it like
even
a
know.
sparkling water or is it just
Well,
right?
no, this one's still. It
Mhm.
literally says still. So I'm sure they have the sparkling version, but a scam. Honestly, I think I'm gonna dump this, wash the bottle, and put my Poland Spring water in it. That's real cute. Next,
Yeah.
I think I have a hunchback. You guys know, remember how few a few episodes back I said I got a big back. I think it's actually a hunchback. There's another trend. Are you good? Mute yourself. There's another trend on TikTok. I don't know if you've seen it, where it says every woman should be able to do 11 push-ups, right? So it was an interview with Mel Robbins, who I believe like she's an author and she does a lot of like self-help books and motivation and all those great, beautiful things. If you see from the back, I love me a good motivation book. So this sound was going viral saying that every woman should be able to do 11 push-ups. And I was like, oh, this is my time to shine because I be at the gym every day. So I put up my little phone to record my 11 push-ups. Why my back like this? It's like this. And I was so sad because I'm over here doing, I even did more than 11 push-ups. I did more than 11 push-ups. And I'm like, I'm about to eat this up. I'm going to post this. Not only can I do push-ups, but I could do like 25. But my back like this. I couldn't even post the video. I said, I know my doctor. Why no one told me at the doctor's that I got a hunchback? So now I'm watching videos to see, is it that my form is bad or what's going on? When I post this, follow us on Instagram because when I post a clip on our socials, I'm gonna enter that the push-up videos. You do not want to miss it.
Yeah.
Shey and her hunchback. I am so sad about it. I literally had to Google like, how do you know if you have a hunchback? How do you know that?
They love pause, yo. I'm
My
freaking.
back seems straight.
I am
How do you
crying
know you
right
have
now.
a hunchback? I am so upset. So now I'm trying to be like extra, you know
No.
what I'm saying? I don't like to do too much because it feels like, girl, you want to stick your butt up so high, but I think that's the move because I'm only 28 and I got a hunchback.
Yo,
Ne-
Sheila, what is wrong with you, bro? Like,
I got watch when you see the video. It's so sad.
so there's
But
the
why I only got a hunchback when I do push-ups? Is it me?
you see they got the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and then you got the Hunchback of Patterson, New Jersey.
Girl, it's like this, and it's like this is my back, and then like this is my butt. My back is as hunched as my butt. That's not okay. And I thought my doctor would tell me, like, oh, you know what I mean, Shayla. I'm kind of concerned because your back is curved and you're only in your 20s. But no one has said that to me. So who is lying? Okay, the next thing is I saw TMZ in action yesterday while I was heading back to Port Authority for work. I was actually so surprised and I saw the little like the little camera they use and it said TMZ and I'm like, "Oh my god, what are they recording? Like why are they here in this building?" I kept on walking, but it was kind of, great to see TMZ in action. We stand. Um I've mentioned this again. I cannot stand doctor's appointments in America. If my appointment is for 8:30 a.m., I should not have to wait. It should not be 9:30 and I'm still in the waiting room. An hour? Why would you set up that appointment? If you know you are not capable of moving fast through your the patients, then don't book 20 people for the same time. Please. Anyways, and the last thing that I want to mention, because we're not actually going to go in depth into our when we actually talk about our topics is tariffs. I know that has been the topic of the week, and if you are expecting us to talk about it, we're not going to talk about it because we have discussed it several times before. And yeah, we're not going to talk about it, but yes, Trump's tariffs are back in session and world leaders are clapping back, including China. Okay.
Yeah.
China is not trying to play. They are matching energy, and so are other world leaders. So the Sheens of the world, all the things, people are worried. The stocks, the Dow, the Jones. I don't really know none of that terms, but a lot of people are.
Oh, the stock market saw its like worst downfall the other day. Like,
But this is what's happening. We hope that if you have your job, secure your job. And if you're in the process of looking for a job, we hope you secure that job because it's looking really shaky. And the other point to that is like just the fact of like you implementing a tariff for like 2 days and then taking it off. Like some of these leaders, they cannot be making decisions off of like decisions you make 2 to 3 days. Like they have to make long-term decisions. So they're not about to play with your games. If this is what you think is best for you, then we're going to move accordingly. And then when you switch it up, that's above us. This is what you said you wanted. And that's that on that. But on that note.
But wait, I want to mention, so your point about doctor's appointments, honestly, every time I go to the doctor's with my grandma, I'm like, maybe we should show up 30 minutes in advance so we could get in at the time we scheduled, because it don't make no sense. Like, how?
And they be mad. They be like, oh, you're actually 15 minutes late, so we can't take you.
Right. And I'm like, how are you going to sit there and tell me, oh, be here at 9:30. I show up at 9:25 and I'm not getting in till 10:30. How that makes sense? And then also, when I had to do, like, I had called the doctor when I was scheduling and everything like that. And the lady took all my information for the primary doctor.
Right.
And I told her I had originally, yo, Shayla, my throat is still messed up from you, bro.
From my hunchback or the water?
Girl, both of them. So you did a back to back to back, girl. You ain't wait for nothing.
Girl, it's been a week.
Girl. So then, yeah. So when I called her, I was giving her my intake and I told her, I was like, I know, like, they're like, do you want to do a physical? I was like, I already had did blood work at the other place, but if y'all feel like y'all want to do more blood work, we could definitely do that. But, you know, I think you should request those records too to see if there's something else you might want. I told that lady that when I answered, I called her the first time. She took my name, she took my number, she took my email, she took everything. The day before my appointment, Wednesday, I'm like, yo, I didn't get a call to confirm or nothing like that. So I called them. So I spoke to a new girl and she was like, oh, is your number? And the whole last 4 numbers were all wrong. The lady told me she was going to request those documents and she never requested them. She put the wrong email.
A mess. Why y'all got a job? And I strongly believe in that. Like, I get it. We all have bad days, but at some point, if you are miserable at your job, or you, especially when you're working in the medical field, because you, like, I don't want to say people's lives are in your hands, but if you mix up medical records, they're like, you're held to a different standard, point blank, period, because you are dealing with people's health situation. If you don't want to be there, then leave. Find another industry that may not be the industry for you. And that's okay, because if every time I call you're miserable, or every time I call you don't know what to do, or you don't know what I'm talking about, or it's always an issue, I'm paying way too much money for these games. Because the older we get, we don't got the family care, the Medicaid. Now it's coming out of my pocket. And so now I really care. Because not only are you wasting my time, but now my money is involved too.
Exactly. No, honestly. And the thing that irritates me the most is I was like sitting there, I was like, so how was I good? Like, what if I didn't call y'all? Like, y'all was just going to keep sending my info to the wrong place? Like, what? Like, and then mind you, when I went, the doctor was like, oh, like the blood work they did is perfectly fine. I could just go through this. I'm like, cool. So now you would have just had to do double the work and she didn't even need to do all that. Because then when I walked out, mind you, we went over everything. And that's another thing I think I loved about her is that, like, you know, I be in my head a lot. Ask Shayla. I be texting Shayla some of the dumbest questions.
They're not dumb.
No, and that's another point I have to make. People who are like, there's no such thing as stupid questions. I hope you acknowledge that that is a stupid statement, because we live in a world of dingbats. There's stupid stuff, okay? But no, I be asking Shayla some dumb questions. Shayla really had to snap on me earlier this week, and I
would not think that that's a snap.
I appreciate it, Shayla. I appreciate it, because, you know, you and shout out to Jenny, y'all keep me honest.
Period. Your Dominican friends.
Okay, listen.
Well, on that note, as you can tell, we're 24 minutes in. Our weeks have been weeking. Now let's get into our topics. Number 1, TikTok. If you haven't realized it, we have hit the second deadline, right? If you haven't remembered, TikTok went dark for like 1 day, half a day, and Trump came into office and he said that he's going to bring TikTok back. TikTok is not going to go dark. So earlier today, this is being recorded on a Friday, TikTok was set to be banned this weekend by April 5th. And literally right before we started recording, Trump signed another executive order to extend the deadline by 75 more days. So it was supposed to be banned by Saturday, April 5th. And now, not banned, but the whole issue was that the app had to be sold, at least half of it or part of the ownership had to be sold to an American-owned company. They had until Saturday, April 5th. There's still no company has bought it yet, half of it, some of it. No deal has been reached. And so Donald Trump today extended it 75 more days. And a lot of big names have jumped in line to buy the app. Amazon allegedly has expressed interest. The founder of OnlyFans, Mr. Beast, Alexis, who is Serena is the tennis player's husband. Yeah. Her husband. So there's a lot of big people that have gotten on the table to buy it. But I think the most important point here is that the TikTok CEO has not publicly said that they're even willing to sell it. Right. Like, that's great that all these people are jumping in and we have so many billionaires that are capable of buying parts of it to be able for the app to still run in the US. But if the TikTok CEO is not saying that they're willing to sell it, then they're never going to reach an agreement. I don't know if behind the scene, the CEO is saying like, oh yeah, we are okay with selling parts of it, but they just don't want to say it publicly. But we went dark half a day. And again, we're playing with the same issue. Is TikTok going to stay forever? Is it not? And it's just at this point, I'm over it. Yes, I love TikTok. But one thing I cannot stand is inconsistency. It's either we're going to do it or we're not. I hate the one day it's this thing, the next day it's another thing. Either ban it or let's drop it. Right. Because you cannot keep telling me that it's a security threat, but what, like, you can't pick and choose when it's a security threat, because if it is a security threat, then why did we extend it for 75 days? Obviously, the Trump administration feels differently now, because if you don't remember, Trump was actually the one that started this whole thing. And then, of course, he left, Biden continued it, and now Trump had a change of heart, apparently, and now he no longer feels like China is a threat, at least not the app. Now he's BFFs with the CEO or whatever. So now he's pro TikTok when he actually was the one that began the whole TikTok issue being a security threat. So I don't care. Like, yes, I will miss it. But with everything, humans are very adaptable and we would figure out something. I'll be sad for the first few months, but then we'll be fine.
I think from the first ban, like my reaction for the first ban compared to like this potential, like the one we thought was gonna happen on April 5th, I think my reaction like drastically different, because like the first time, like, I'm gonna crash out if they do it, this, that, and the third. Like, I was heartbroken. But like, I realized April 5th was coming up, and I'm like, honestly, if you're gonna do it, do it. If you're gonna be about it, be about it. Like, what are we doing? Like, we causing all this headache, all this conversation. Like, if y'all are gonna do the sale, do the sale. If you're gonna ban it, ban it. But us going around in this circle about, oh, this is a security threat, this is a security threat, baby, we got our own issues here in the US, and y'all ain't doing nothing about that either. So
I can't take you serious. That's what it is. I can't take you serious. Every day is something new.
And then the thing is, to your point, you keep extending it and keep extending it and keep extending it. If you keep extending it, clearly it's not as big as an issue as y'all made it seem.
Right.
So why not just drop it all together? Like, his supporters aren't going to change. They're going to be like, oh, okay, he like TikTok's still cool, and we just going to keep rocking with it. Like,
yeah. And I feel like this isn't even a political thing. I think people across the board, whatever politics you support, whatever side you're on, middle, center, right, left, a lot of people just genuinely enjoy TikTok. There's a niche for everybody. There's book talk, there's restaurants, there's DIY, cooking, whatever you're into, mukbangs, like reading, whatever you're into, there's someone out there creating content for you, which is why I feel like out of all the things that are very divisive in America, TikTok was the one thing that everyone, enjoyed and supported. So it kind of felt like, why are you putting all your resources to ban an app that is actually loved by everyone across the board? And this whole argument of it's a security threat is kind of dead if you continue to push for it to stay or extend it days upon days upon days. Like, Congress already said that they believe it is a security threat. They signed the legislation. It passed the House, the Senate. Biden signed it. And now we just keep pushing it down the door. I just think it's very funny and convenient how that works. That when leadership and politicians want to get things done, when they want to put their foot down on certain things, they do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But then when it comes to other things, it's like, oh no, we can't. There's no way. There's no this. Baby, they always find a way when they really are about it. So I don't really care anymore about
to end the statement on that, it's like, if you want to be about it, be about it. If you're not going to be about it, then shut up. Like, that's literally what it is. So it's like, breaking news, TikTok is not going to be banned on April 5th. There has been an extension, but we're just gonna wait for the other extension after that. So like right now, I feel like we had 3 extensions already.
No, well, it actually was banned for like half a day, or it went dark for half a day.
Yeah, but then he extended it again.
Right. So this is the second extension.
Oh, this the second one?
Kind of, sort of.
Maybe,
But
maybe 3 times is like, they always say 3 times is the whatever.
The charm?
Yeah, the charm. 3 times is the charm. So let's hope by the third one they find a seller. Also, quick point. When I found out that Amazon had put a bid in to purchase TikTok,
allegedly,
I'm like, the TikTok shop, before it used to take days, maybe even weeks to get your stuff. Amazon gonna put that 2-day shipping into effect.
Well, I am a Amazon ban person, so, but to the Amazon supporters, yep, I'm happy for y'all. Hopefully that goes through for you.
I've never purchased nothing on TikTok shop, but
well, if anything, you should. TikTok shop is not. I don't know where TikTok shop stands with DI, but I was happy to see that Target's sales have gone down because
so remember our conversation where I said, you will see the difference after a while. Companies gonna have to notice. And Shayla was like,
but it takes time.
Go back to that episode. I forget what episode that was, but go back to that episode.
Well, are you participating? Because I'm sure you've been on there. Okay, next.
Girl, listen, you gotta pick and choose.
We gotta go on.
But I picked that I'm not going to Target.
Okay.
So the next thing that we're gonna talk about, because shout out to, we're from Jersey, baby. Okay.
I don't think that's how the beat was, but
it was a Jersey. Well, no, there was different versions. I think I'm right.
You're saying the words, yes, but I don't think you said there's different beats, so it's probably the beat that you heard.
So what we're going to talk about is Senator Cory Booker, baby. Okay, so if y'all don't know, you've been living under a rock. You and Patrick must be roommates because, baby, come up out that rock. So Senator Cory Booker literally was on the Senate floor talking for 25 hours. And some change. But yes, 25 hours. And it's crazy. I remember when I saw it, I was like, what is going on? I'm like, because random lies will pop up. So as I'm scrolling on TikTok, I see Cory Booker. I'm like, cool. I don't really interact with politics. So I just kept scrolling. I was like, go ahead, my New Jersey brethren, right? Kept scrolling. I think it was like 12, I saw that at 8 p.m. And then I kept scrolling and it was like around 12 a.m., 1 a.m. And it popped back up. I'm like, what are they playing? Reruns? Like, who is watching this? Like, what are y'all doing? So then it didn't hit me till the next day that people were still talking. They're like, yo, he's still talking. I'm like, who? And they're like, Cory Booker. I was like, wait, it wasn't like my phone wasn't tripping. It wasn't a glitch. Like, he literally is talking. And I'm like, oh my God. And if y'all watch Scandal, y'all know about filibusters. Remember our girl Millie? I think her name was Millie. Yeah, where she said, boom, smacked that book down and did a filibuster. So let me give y'all some quick little info. So Cory Booker is 55 years old. He's a Democrat from New Jersey. And like we mentioned, he kept talking and talking. So through the night into the next day for 25 hours and 5 minutes. So a day, an hour, and some change, girl. Okay. So basically, in his speech, he focused on criticizing the Trump administration. He did not sit once. He did not eat. He didn't use the restroom, which literally, personally, I would have had a pamper on. Like, I'm telling y'all this right now. Y'all would have seen a bit, like, that would have been the pamper commercial advertisement, okay? So, like I mentioned, he did use the restroom, and the speech broke the record for the longest speech on record in the chamber. It surpassed the previous record set in 1957 by segregationist, and if I mess up your name, my fault, Senator Storm Thurmond.
I mean, I don't think you're gonna be wrong because he was trying to filibuster to like keep segregation, I think.
Honestly, I'm glad I butchered your name, period. So he filibustered for 24 hours and 18 minutes to oppose the Civil Rights Act. And now look at it. A black man done went and broke your record. Clock that. If T wasn't a T, look at that little sip. Okay. So I have some videos that highlight a little bit of his speech right now. So I'm going to show it to y'all.
What kind of man is in our White House that makes fun of the disabled? Parkinson's disease is a degenerative brain disease that progresses over time. Sorry, I'm thinking about my dad. It is unrelenting and affects motor and nerve processes. Loss of benefits will have a direct and daily effect on me and my family. I will need medication every single day of my life, and I will need the security of a generous society to care for me. Millions of others join me there. Please, Senator Booker, please protect my Social Security. I just thank God that my mom had the resources to take care of my dad. And I watched that degenerative disease take from his life for 20 years and how much it cost. I know so many Americans who live in fear every day that one little thing will happen to them that will destabilize their financial well-being. And now those millions of Americans, because of a president and a man named Musk, are driving fear into them. They have a president that talks down to them, that lies about the services that they rely on. What is this? It is not normal. How can the most powerful people in our land not comfort others, not tell them they have nothing to fear but fear itself, not tell them to have malice towards none, but have charity towards all?
So that was just one of the examples of the things that he talked about. He was talking about Medicaid. He talked about like a lot of the issues that people have been talking about when they talk about the Trump administration. And so, like, to me, when I saw this, I was like, you know what? I don't know if everybody in there was actually paying attention because, like I said, he talked nonstop for 25 hours plus a day, plus some change. But
I think also, I'm sorry to cut you off. There was some other Congress people that would go in and ask him questions to kind of like relieve him for a little second. You know what I mean? And help him continue the conversation in a sense, but he did a lot of it himself.
Yeah, a lot. But like, obviously they, like you mentioned, they asked the questions and stuff like that. But like they had asked him basically like, because a lot of people were asking that question, like, what, like, how did you not use the bathroom? Like, how did you even, like, there was no break at all. And he was basically saying like, it's not recommended obviously by a doctor, but like he said, I started training for this days in advance. Like I stopped eating and drinking the night before, like this, that, and the third. I'm like, sir, all power to you. So that kind of made me want to ask you the question. Do you think that you could talk for 25 hours plus more?
I would think if I had to do it and there was a reasoning for it, yes. But my thing with this is like, I'm a proud Jersey girl. I love Jersey down. And I'm glad that this record is held now by, a Jersey representative. But my question is just like, thank you, right? He was spitting facts. He was saying all the things, but it's like, how is that going to stop all the issues that we're like Americans are still dealing with? You know what I mean? Like, I think the whole reason for this, or maybe not whole reason, but a lot, especially the Democratic Party, they have been dealing with a lot of pushback from, Democratic people or like voters that are saying like, we need the Democratic leaders to take action and fight back and do more things. So this was like, I guess, Senator Cory Booker's way of showing like, I am here and I am fighting for, my people. And I think it's great. And a lot of people from Jersey appreciate it. But I'm just in a spot where it's like, I'm more of an action person. And yes, that is an action and I'm grateful and that's great. But like, what do we get from this? Like,
Yeah.
it's great you broke a record. So now what?
Yeah, that's what I when I found out like this was currently happening and stuff like that, I asked my coworker, I said, okay, so what's the end goal? Right. Like, and I'm a very what's the end goal type of person. Like, I get it. This is a great milestone. You being from Jersey is a plus. I'm like, you did that. You sat there, you committed to it, and you did it. Great. The day went on the day after. The day went
Right.
continued to go on the next day. Trump literally announced his tariffs 2 days after that. So it's just what is next? What was this supposed to accomplish? Like, I see that you broke everything down, but half of the stuff that he was breaking down is stuff that all of us know, some of us ignore, or some of us just refuse to sit there and compute into our brains, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, now how do we progress, right? What is the next conversation? Because Trump still got 4 years and some change. It's like,
Yeah,
you
and I don't want it to like come off as like, I think we appreciate him, you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Because he's doing way more than his other peers that are, got elected to be in Congress and fight for your constituents. So it's very much appreciated. But I think when voters are saying we need Democrats to do more, I just don't think that this is specifically what it was. We
Right.
thank you and we're grateful, but I prefer you break it down into like 4-hour speeches for things that I don't want to say actually, like, I don't know. I'm grateful, thankful. I just think we need more actionable things. I don't know. Like, maybe if this was for like a bill or something, I don't know. I appreciate it. It's great and dandy. But to the question that you asked me, would you be able to speak for 25 hours?
I was like, so I'm a talker, y'all. Like, I literally could talk about anything. You say cat, I say the hat, and we could just keep going. Because then we say mat, rat, bat. Like, we could just keep going, right?
Yeah.
But my whole thing is like, I have to truly be invested, truly care, and understand what my end goal and outcome will be.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if I'm going to argue every single point of this down, that is my dedication to this.
Mm-hmm.
But along with dedication is a motivation to an end goal. I know his motivation was to help us become more aware, to understand how all these different things that are being put in place is going to have an effect on the others, not the 2%, but the other 90%.
Right.
Because, some people, they be playing broke. But so like, I just think, do I think I could do it? Yes. If you ask me in my current body as of right now, today, if I would do something like that, I would say I don't care about nothing that much to sit there and do that.
Yeah, I just wouldn't want to do it. I feel like my way of advocacy is way different. Like, I would prefer a march. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just more my thing. But again, I think it's very important to just do what works for you. And if that worked for him, also, I think all politicians, I think the number one or one of the top requirements is you need to be able to talk people's head off. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to talk, you need to sell yourself, your plans, why we should vote for you. So I think all politicians, if you can't do that, then you probably should not be a politician. So
Honestly. And
on
like,
that note,
to your
on to
point,
the oh,
my
I'm
last
sorry.
point. No, it's okay. I just wanted to say, I don't want, like Shayla said, I just want to reiterate, because there's going to be that one person who's like, oh, they just are missing the point completely. No, we get the point. But what I'm saying
And
is,
we're grateful for the point.
right. No, right. So I completely get the point. I understand what he did. And like we said, him being from Jersey just extra touched the space in our heart. Okay. But it's like, now that that period has been made, I need the commas, I need the exclamation points, I need the semicolons. Like, where do we continue on from now?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yes.
So next, okay, everyone remembers Luigi Mangione. He is
Mangione.
Mangione. Okay. Reverse. Everyone remembers Luigi Mangione, right? He is being held for allegedly killing the United Healthcare CEO. And recently, the US Attorney General Pam Bondi says that she wants Luigi Mangione to get the death penalty, right? So she directed federal prosecutors this week to pursue the death penalty against Luigi Mangione, the man accused of murdering United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson last year in New York City. I can't believe that was last year.
That's
And I'm just like, first of all, his trial hasn't even started. So the fact that, again, you are putting all these resources and all this energy for him to get the death penalty is just like, what is the reason? What is the reason? And what is the reason? His trial hasn't even started. I think these federal prosecutors could be using their resources and their time on other things. And yeah, and I think also the fact that like the public sentiment is very much on Luigi Mangione's side because of the trash healthcare system that we have, the trash healthcare insurance, like all of those things. Everyone feels it. Everyone knows that it is a scam. We've spent thousands of money. You may be able, if you're lucky, to get an appointment right away if you need to see a specialist for some reason. I think because, again, everyone is, I don't want to say in support, but no one's feeling like so bad for the unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never want to, celebrate someone's death because it's not a celebration, but I'm just expressing how, the reality of the situation is no one is feeling upset or sad. And because at the end of the day, a jury is going to be the one that is in charge of finding Luigi guilty or not. I think the attorney general is trying to get in front of that or ahead of that and try to push for as harsh of a penalty as he can get. And I don't know, this I am interested to see this trial start because it's going to be hard to get a group of people, a group of jury that is gonna be impartial because everyone deals with the healthcare system.
Right. So my whole thing is when I first saw this, my first thought was like, I think all punishment should fit the crime, right? People murder people every single day, unfortunately. And depending on how gruesome the murder is, that's when I feel like that's when you see a difference in punishment. But it's like I see school shooters go into schools all the time getting walked out in handcuffs, and the death penalty is never mentioned for them. You have multiple families that are impacted and affected, and you don't hear the death penalty brought up at all. But he killed, yes, I understand. Most murders are premeditated, okay? But like he went through the process, he killed one man. And I understand this was a high value man to society, but it's one man. People go into schools and shoot maybe 20 kids, and maybe out of those 20 kids, 2 survive. And they just get life in prison. I just feel like the punishment should fit the crime. And if you're going to have that energy for Luigi, who killed the one man, I need you to have that energy for everybody. I get it. You want to set and make an example. We talked about this when he was they basically were parading him around as if this was like a photo shoot or like the world's greatest celebrity walking out through the streets and stuff like that. Like we talked about it, like the way they have been treating Luigi from the very beginning is giving very much like, what is it that y'all really want? Do you want us to not pay attention to him? Or do you want us to have sympathy for the family? Or do you want us to like, what is it that you guys are looking for? And everything that they have done when it comes to him makes you question, like, y'all are not really getting to the point that y'all think y'all really are trying to get.
Well, I think at the beginning, they were very much, we want you to see this, like, oh my God. But then when they realized that the public was on his side, they were like, oh, we actually need to pipe down. And I think what some people are missing is not that people are like, oh, we're pro killing others. No, I think what the bigger issue, the bigger elephant in the room is that everyone is affected by the healthcare system. Everyone sees a family member, a mother, a daughter, a son, a friend struggling with something and they can't get the help that they need. That is the pain that is leading to people not feeling bad for this one singular person. And I do understand that one singular person had a family, he had kids, and I 1,000% understand that. And it is validating for the people that, feel a type of way about it. But I'm just saying this is why it's not giving what people or these, I don't know, police or whoever thought it was gonna give.
Exactly.
No one's feeling bad.
Exactly. And like, to your point, I think the trial is going to be very interesting. We've had past episodes where we talked about this because every singular person who it does not fit into the rich majority who could just pay for private insurance and get like the help like this, like the amount of times that I have to get referrals from my grandmother and have to call for appointments and them being like, well, I don't know, insurance is taking a while to approve this and that and this. It's like everyone is impacted in some type of way when it comes to the healthcare system who don't fit into that small group of people who can do whatever they want with their money, right? So it's like, no one is saying that murder is okay. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that the family of Brian Thompson should not be heard or shouldn't be considered, and that when they go to trial, are they going to focus on the fact that this is a family man and try to really focus on that point? I 1000% think they are. But it's just like, at the end of the day, you got to think as a society, we are very individualistic, right? How are we impacted? How are the people around us impacted? And if I understand Brian Thompson's family, our hearts go out to you because, you know, you ain't have to lose him. But I don't know them people. And regardless of him being here and him being here and him not being here, y'all still are going to have way more money than half of us. You guys are going to still have access to healthcare and everything like that better than half the people who are still struggling to this day. So I just feel like sympathy can just go but so far. And back to the original point of giving Luigi the death penalty, like, come on, we got to do better. Come on, I get it. Y'all see it backfired, and now y'all want to say, well, since y'all liked him so much, let me show y'all what we really could do to him.
Yeah, they want to like set an example from him. But like you mentioned, how about the people that have done all the several mass shootings? And I don't know, I think that also opens up another door. Are you pro death, the death sentence, the death penalty? I don't know. I don't even like the death penalty as a whole. I think if you commit a heinous crime, you need to be suffering. And I think death is the easy way out, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
with Diddy and whoever else is there. Actually, I don't know if they're in that jail. Don't fact check me. Well, actually fact check me. I don't think that's right. But let's move on to happier, lighter notes topics in our social corner.
Ooh, oh, I'll do it. Yes, y'all. So welcome back to our social corner. And if you are new here, let me give you a quick little breakdown. So our social corner is basically where we talk about all the different things we've been seeing on social media or anything like that we're going to talk about. The last topics we talked about, we spent like 15 minutes talking about each little thing. But in our social corner, we're just going to focus on a few different stories and only in that 15 minutes touch on like 4 or 5. But today we got 2. So the first thing we're going to talk about, if y'all know, in past episodes, Shayla and I had differences of opinion when it came to my sis, Onijah Robinson. She is back in New York, y'all. She's not in Pakistan no more. She's not in Dubai. She is in New York City. Onijah.
Back home.
Okay, Onijah Robinson is back. Did y'all hear me? My sis is back. And I just want to play some clips of when they finally found her in these streets, basically doing interviews with her. And yeah, she's still funny.
Well, listen, I didn't go to jail. I was just stuck in Dubai. It was a situation that happened in Dubai that I couldn't get over at the time, and that was it.
How long were you there for?
I was there for a month.
Wow. After Pakistan?
After Pakistan, yes, I was.
That is so crazy. So then how did you end up getting out? Like, did you get in touch with like the embassy or?
Actually, I'll keep all that private and tell you guys that later. Actually, on a romantic date, you know, we had we met through the internet, basically.
Right. But is he in Pakistan?
Yes, he is.
No. So have you, like, okay, so when do you plan on going back?
You know, we're going to discuss that, but right now we all staying in New York soon. So that's real big. It's real big. It's real big.
So we have to meet him. Wait. So we got to ask you, Okay, really quickly. So you were asking for your money and your land. We gotta ask you, did you get the money? Did you get the land?
Listen, they gonna get that land. They gonna get that land. They gonna get that 20K, that 50K out.
I love that. Well,
That's it.
because I know, like, you were online saying that. So did anyone give that to you? Were you able to raise anything?
Well, they was gonna give me the 100K every week, but I left. So we're gonna see what they're gonna work on while I'm not there. I do have chips that have my face on it in Pakistan. I love you
For
guys.
real? In real life?
In real
You
life.
gotta show us.
I'm actually on. Shout out to everybody. Respect for the law. 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 Respect to the law.
Wait, so really, really fast. Okay, wait. So there was a guy that you showed, and he was kind of bothering you, and you had a cigarette. You said, "I'll burn your face." What happened? Because the people were kind of taking
That was my driver.
Ah.
You know, it was paparazzis all around me. I wanted to go home. He wasn't listening. So I was just playing with him. It was just a joke. It wasn't nothing that serious.
That is so funny. Okay, wait. So have any celebrities reached out to you? Have celebrities in your DM asking you?
Well, I have to ask my manager about who's been reaching out to me, period. That's
Okay,
it.
yeah, because okay.
Can I get one last shot right here?
Yes, you
Can we see a movie
Drop
on your
the
life coming up? Can we see a movie on your life? Any projects that like you want to?
I just want to say, I think that I walk those streets every day when I get out from Port Authority to go to work and when I'm going back to Port Authority. And I wish I would have come in contact with her. I don't think that I would have recognized her because the last time we saw her, she had her job. She was all on her religion thing. And then now I don't know what happened, but maybe she just decided to take off her hijab and
listen, y'all know I'm a Onijah Robinson advocate, okay? I'm telling y'all, a true delusion can bring you anywhere in life. And the fact that she is back in New York and she is sticking with the same storyline, she said, listen, baby, they may be in Pakistan and y'all made us saw me make that little spectacle in Dubai, but baby, this storyline ain't never going to die down. The girl was getting out of an Escalade or some type of, nice car, security escorting her out. I see flash. I said, true delusion. And Shayla was saying she couldn't pull that in New York, girl. Look at her now. She's still doing her little press conferences out in the street, even though it was one singular person and one dude. It's still getting more attention than we getting in the streets. But I love her down because true delusion will take you anywhere in life.
Yeah, I mean, it's all because of us. We're giving her attention, which if you have the followers, you have the likes, you have the attention, these corporations will give you the time of day. She probably gonna come out with a Netflix series,
girl,
or a Zeus or something, and they're paying for these Escalades and they're paying for all these things. Why? Because the people are giving her the attention. There, you keep talking about it. We're here on our podcast talking about it. So,
but it's like, wow. Go ahead to see.
It can't be delusion without followers. Like, you need people to also buy into the delusion. Because we could just be delusional right here, but if we don't get other people to watch us and talk about us, the delusion gonna go nowhere.
Listen, I agree with you, which is why, and I'm mad because I really ain't keep up with her as I should as a true fan of hers. So when Shayla told me that she was back in New York City, girl, I dang near booked a flight. I said, flight.
A flight? Bought a train ticket?
Yes, I almost bought my little train ticket to see where I can find Onijah because we got to talk it down, girl. We need to find out. How did you meet him? I need to find out if you really had.
Girl, I don't think she really married for real.
Girl, no. Apparently she got. Now, this is allegedly, but apparently she got her own husband and kids that she left from
here in the United States. I'm talking about the one in Pakistan.
Yes, I know find out the story. I know, and some people are like, "Oh, this lady is going through a psychotic break." But listen, so is Kanye, and they still making money. So maybe being your true self is who you need to be sometimes.
Girl, so on that note, we'll keep up with Onijah. We'll see where she's going. I'm sure she got something in the works, and we will find out about it soon. Another thing that happened this weekend or broke was the new Nintendo Switch 2 was released. It was announced. I did not grow up playing any video games. So for me, anytime a new device comes out, I'm indifferent. I never played Xbox. I never had PlayStation. I never had none of that. So did you grow up playing video games? Are you excited about this? What's that?
So like I grew up a lot with my guy cousins, and
Mhm.
I remember when I would go to their house, they would be like playing, and like they'd play Call of Duty and stuff like that, and they'd let me play sometimes. And when I say sometimes, I want to say like out of the 500 times I've been there, they let me play like 4 times, because they're like, you're not about to mess up my score. Like you just, only thing I knew how to do in Call of Duty was shoot the gun, but I couldn't run, so I would just be staying in place just shooting the gun. It was,
God.
girl, it's too many. It's multitasking. You gotta move the thumb, move this, click exit
Mhm.
at the same time. It's doing too much. Like y'all got it. But like I remember, and if y'all know, I said it before. Growing up in a Caribbean household, it don't matter sometimes what you wanted for Christmas. If they weren't getting it, they weren't getting it.
Right.
There used to be times where I would beg and beg and beg. Because at the time, if you remember, DCs used to be real popular. No, not DCs, DS. Nintendo DS was
Mhm.
real popular. And I remember everyone in my school had one. And I used to beg my parents. I remember I asked for Christmas, and I just kept asking and asking and asking. And as always, my parents wait till it starts weaning out of its trend to get me something. So I want to say in like the last year of everybody having it, like I finally got it, and I want to say 5th grade, maybe 6th.
Oh, you were still young though.
Yeah, I was still young, girl. Yeah, but like when everybody had it in 3rd, 4th grade, I was begging. So my
Mhm.
parents finally got it for me on one of my birthdays, and I had got this one, the metallic gold one. No,
Mm.
metallic rose. Yeah, with the stylus and everything, right? And I remember one of the games they got me, and you could not take me off of that game, was Cooking Mama. Girl, I used to love cooking. I used to be whipping the guacamole and the salad and everything, girl. You couldn't tell me nothing. But of course, Rebecca being Rebecca, good things don't last for me.
You broke it.
Girl, I wish I had just broke it. So this was before I found out you could put what, like when you drop something in water, you put rice in it. Girl, I
Mhm.
dropped it in the toilet. I ain't even had the thing for a year.
And that's how you make sure that you never get another device again.
Yo, I swear to you, like and I remember when I wanted an iPod, the little iPods. Girl, I begged and begged and begged, and the only reason why they got it for me is so I could share it with my sister. Isn't that crazy?
So,
But yes, I remember those days. I was never like, I'm not really a gamer.
yeah.
I think they're like it was fun like when I had it and stuff like that, especially as a distraction. You sitting in the house
Mhm.
all day, you got something to do. But like more like my cousins had like the Wii, the like the video games, the Call of Duties and stuff like that. It was mainly them. And like if I
Yeah.
went to their houses, that's when I was able to play with that type of stuff.
For me, I never played video games. My mom made it very clear that in her head, she felt like video games made you dumb.
Mm.
And so also we were broke. So that helps. So she could have literally just used the dumb thing as an excuse. But I feel like that is a very strong myth in Caribbean household that like if you are stuck home just playing video games, that somehow, some way it's gonna make you dumber. And so I never played none of that. And so now at this big age, whenever I do play with a Wii or an Xbox or any of those games, I literally look slow. Number one, I move with controllers because I just feel like, what do you mean I don't have to move? I'm like this. I'm getting better at it, but I move with the controllers. I literally don't know nothing about nothing. You know, when people are like, oh, you just press the A. It's like, well, girl, you've been using this since you was 5. I'm
Exactly.
28. I don't know how this works. But I do think that I would have enjoyed it if I were to have gotten it when I was younger because I feel like if you find the right game for you, it was fun. I was more so on like Penguin. You remember when Penguin was like a thing?
Penguin?
Yes. I
Girl.
was a little bit older because again, I didn't even have a laptop, but like when I did get some technology, I think like Penguin was big and Club Penguin was popping. But that lasted very short, like not a long
Did
time.
you ever play, first off, on Club Penguin? I remember I had a boyfriend and 3 igloos, girl. I was Girl.
He was
And I don't know if you
outside.
also remember, wow, we are really going through a throwback, but We World was my stuff. My avatar looked the best.
I didn't have that.
Really?
But I do remember this, like Nintendo, like the thing that you showed. I never had it, but I did have some friends that did have it. And then when they would let me use it, I was like in awe. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, this is so good.
Oh, this is real life.
And I really was a fan of Wii because it worked for me. Because remember how I say I move with controllers? Wii, you literally got to do that. So
Oh,
I used to love, like, I had like in my gym class in high school, in one of the quarters, it was like you can be on the treadmill or play like a Wii game that was dancing. And I love a Wii dancing game. So if Wii still exists when I own my own home, I will be purchasing that with the dance game.
No, but to be
That's it.
honest, I used to love the We used to do the little dances and everything like
And
that.
sports, it's like active, and I like that.
To this day, if I hear certain songs, like I could still do the routine. Like that's how when I used to go to my cousins or they would bring it to my godmother's house, I swear to you, we was on the Wii. And like to your point about like, oh, like you move with the controller. I used to hate when like some of the controllers had that feature, like if you got hit by something, it'll start shaking in your hand. I remember one time with the
You
first
just
time
broke a remote. You just let it fall.
I said, "Oh, it's breaking, y'all." It was like, Rebecca, why would you throw it? I was like, it started shaking. I thought it was about to blow up.
She said, "Not today, honey."
But
You
did
are
you
on
ever
your
play?
own.
Did you ever play Pop Tropica?
What? I need more. What was
Pop
Pop Tropica?
Tropica, it was like a website where you go on and then like every level, like you had to move through the thing to get to like the grand prize, and everything was like a different game.
I don't think I did that.
Really, girl. And then like whenever you won something, like when you beat that like game or something like that, they would give you a code that you could put back in to always save like your what's the word, like you save where you've like left off
Your world level.
Yes. But the thing is, when I would play Pop Tropica, they never finished all of the games. So like you would get to a point and like you could replay the other games that you play that you got to that point, but they never let me get to the end because they never finished. And I don't know if it's still true, and I don't know if Pop Tropica still exists, but I remember this one code that would bring you to that last standing point, and it was spoon 1. So if Pop Tropica ever or still does exist, use spoon 1 and see if it'll get you to that midway point.
Period. There was a lot of like website based games that were fun.
Of
that
course.
I enjoyed.
I used to also love ggg.com, Girls Go Games, girl. Barbie.com to this.
Yes, Barbie.com. I love the little dress ups, the little that was good. But we gotta get to our next fun topic.
Yes, we need to get into our sports corner, y'all. So let's get into that.
Tell them this, Diddy Mitch, Junior want to not be on my
Hey, y'all, welcome to the sports corner, because what's sports without women? You know?
That part, but also like the title says, too much. We like to talk about everything. So this is your one-stop shop for all this stuff. We like culture, news, sports, everything.
Yes.
So this topic that we're going to talk about is kind of sports, but not really, but it does incorporate sports. So if you know Dan Orlovsky, he's like one of the main correspondents for NFL on ESPN. And so this week on Wednesday, April 2nd was World Autism Day, and Dan Orlovsky's son, Madden, was highlighted during World Autism Day on NFL Live on ESPN, and his drawings were featured on all of NFL Live screens and monitors around the studio. And when I saw this video, we're going to play parts of it, I cried because, you know, Dan Orlovsky mentioned how Dan Orlovsky himself played in the NFL. He's all about sports, and you know what I'm saying? Usually when you have a son, you probably want them to follow in your footsteps. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you want whatever's best for them. But if you grow up playing sports, you're most likely going to at least try to set up your son for that way. And if they end up being an athlete, they end up. If they don't, they don't. But Madden was diagnosed with autism pretty early on, like around 2 years old. So they already knew like that wasn't going to be his path. But which kind of like, you know, you had to find other ways for Madden to be a part of the family and feel welcomed and like highlighted, right? Because this is not Dan Orlovsky's only son. He has other kids. So it's like you see all your other kids in sports, but you don't want to let your son feel any type of way because he's not able to do all these other sports. And so his way of like doing things is he's very big into illustration and drawings. And so this was kind of like his moment to shine. And when you guys see this video, it is so heartwarming. I was in tears. What?
Never mind. We'll get into. We'll tell you after all the topics. Go ahead.
Okay, let's watch this amazing video.
I've been at ESPN almost 29 years. Yesterday may have been my favorite day. If you're watching NFL Live, you saw the show had a different look than it usually does. Madden Orlovsky, who is the son of our beloved buddy Dan Orlovsky, helped to create all the studio graphics for the show. Madden is one of Dan's 3 boys. And in honor of World Autism Awareness Day, NFL Live's director Tim Farrell suggested that Madden's drawings be used on the set and as the show's graphics. And as you can see, Madden really delivered. He got to leave school for the show. He joined Dan, Laura, Field, and J-Mac on the set. All the monitors were filled with his drawings. Dan says that Madden's autism is his superpower and that his drawings give him an out to express himself and have some fun. Madden also showed off pictures from the movie Toy Story, and then it turned into this moment.
Andy's first toy is was Woody. I love it. You got a friend in me.
That is not it.
And he sing too.
Dan.
You
Got a friend in me.
Oh, got it.
I'm the wall.
He can draw.
Rub a head and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed.
Yay!
Just remember what your old pal said. Boy, you got a friend in me. Some other folks might feel a little bit smarter than I am. Bigger and strong, but maybe. But none of them, well, I will love you the way I do. It's me and you, boy, and as the years go by.
That was, you were there. You saw it. Dan is a very special friend of ours.
And I was gonna continue and everything like that, but honestly, y'all, when Shayla told me about it, and like she was like, when you go see the videos, you're gonna see. And like Shayla already told me, like, I cry for everything, but like this made me cry. And when I went to go watch it, my heart, when he started singing and he was just like, some may be smarter than me, I said, oh my God. And it's like, as someone who has people in the family who are like autistic or on the spectrum and stuff like that, I like, in our household, we like, not our household, but like in our family dynamic, like we always say, like, you don't treat them differently. Like you treat them with respect. You don't baby them and stuff like that. Obviously, if they need extra assistance, you provide that. But at the end of the day, they are still like humans. They're still living, breathing, doing things just like us. But, there is something like they're just not the same as us all. But that doesn't change the way that you treat them. So it's like to see Dan Orlovsky. Yeah.
Orlovsky.
Yeah, him. Like seeing how like he's like, it's like you see like proud parent moment. Like you see him singing, like obviously like him singing that song word for word. That's something that they clearly do in the family together. Like it's just like it touches my heart when I see, because we see a lot of times with people who do have children, like, and the child isn't like diagnosed with anything and they're treated like absolutely nothing. So to see like him literally being, and obviously we don't know these people, but from what we could tell, like you can see the love is there. There's no like, yes, we understand. Like he talked about how, I didn't show the clip, but they talked about how like one of the things that he's been doing like for a while is drawing. Like that's something that he loves to do. And like from the drawings that you can see, they're not terrible, right? So it's like a lot of times like you could lie and be like, oh my God, your drawing's the best. And like you're literally lying. But like for this, like I really see like true talent there. And so like I just love to see that. And it really touches my heart. And I think videos like this sometimes remind you like, you got a friend in me. You know?
Yeah. When every time I watched it, I teared up again because first of all, I'm very empathetic, and so I'm always like nice as is, but I just feel like it's such a cruel world, and there's so many people that are just like mean and nasty. And so when you see someone like this who is like, especially children, they're so like, they don't judge. The world is free. Like they say how they feel. And obviously there's different spectrums of autism, right? But he's like verbal, and Dan says this, like he's very grateful to his wife because we see this finished product. It's not finished, right? He's still very young, but like this takes a lot of time and dedication and like seeing seeing all the specialists, the like so many, like it is a team working to make sure that he has what he needs. And I just feel like him having this moment and like his parents embracing what he does, like yes, it's drawing, right? Like this is his way of of
listening to like
this is his way to like express himself, and his parents validate that. You know what I mean? Instead of like, oh, I'm tired of drawings, they said we have boxes and boxes and boxes of drawings, and like they embrace that. This is what he likes, this is what he does. And I don't know, I just love that. And my mom says like when she used to live in Puerto Rico and I was younger, she used to babysit like twins that had autism. And she says like those are the kindest people. They love hard. And regardless of what disability you may have, I think that we all deserve the same amount of love, the same amount of respect. And yes, maybe it may take longer for people to, write or get their thought out, but that doesn't mean that they're any less than anyone else. And I strongly believe in that. If you disrespect anyone in front of me, especially someone that has a disability or something other, I do not play that. Don't do that in front of me. I cannot stand people that are rude, people in wheelchairs or whatever. They just slam doors, can't even open the door. Like,
yeah,
just rude people. So I appreciate that. And it was such a moment of like love and just, I love that.
Yeah,
he has a future. He gonna have some drawings incorporated in Disney. This is an amazing story.
Honestly, I could see them doing something and they're turning the like his like drawings into like animation.
Yes,
I could see it. Honestly, I feel like they have done stuff like that before. So honestly, if they did that, that is amazing. And I hope it comes into existence. And honestly, like you said, I think seeing videos like that help cleanse. Like we see a lot of stuff on social media. We see like toxic stuff, we see drama, we see arguments, we see all this different stuff on social media. So to like have that type of cleanser where you can see something like this and like it gives you that heartwarming feeling, I just love that. And I was just like, oh,
we need more of that.
No, honestly. And so I just want to move into our next topic. We were going to talk about Anthony Edwards, but honestly, there's not much else to say other than there was these rumors going around that he had asked the judge if he could pay all 18 years of his child support up front. And everybody took that narrative and ran with it. But come to find out, that wasn't true. It was just a rumor. But the thing that's crazy about it is how believable it was. Like, I could see him doing that because we've seen his actions in the past. So all I'm going to say to that situation is, one, I would hate to be a man because what do you mean you're not getting rid of the baby? But at the same
time, women taking the side of the man.
No. Whoa. Pause. Flag on the play. What? Ref, do something. Let me stop. Okay. No, I'm not taking no sides. I 1000% think that he's trash as hell for that. I think if you laid down and made your bed, you was over here raw dogging all these different females. Of course, what do you expect?
Children? And also, he's the one with the penis and the sperm. So,
right, but also it takes two people to make it. It takes two.
Okay, but you're the one with the sperm. So if you let it go wherever you let it go, there's consequences.
But also, if I allowed it to stay inside of me to go to the point where it did, then that's another point too. But what I'm saying is, I think people aren't holding Anthony Edwards accountable enough because of just the type of demeanor that he has and how everybody it's just like with Boosie, people rather focus on like all his like clickable stuff, like the funny things that he says, his personality, him saying like, I'm the greatest. Like, you like to get involved more with his shenanigans from like his on-court presence and like his kind of funny off-the-court presence. But like his decision making is something that we also have to take into acknowledgement. Like, you had his one daughter, they had a whole one first birthday party and stuff like that for her. He's active, he's present, he's doing what he has to do. But you laid down with this other girl and you had a baby with her. Regardless of how you feel about her now, you still rocked with her enough to raw dog her. And now this is I don't like to say the consequence, because a baby is a baby. Like,
the baby didn't ask for this.
Right. The baby didn't ask for this. So I don't like to say consequence, but like that's typically the phrase. Like, this is the consequence of action.
Actions have reactions.
Like, okay, so like if that is your child, well, she's saying that's your child. You like to sit there and say that's not your child, but she is telling you wholeheartedly that is your child. So we're going to go off the fact that's your child. So stand 10 toes for your baby. I think, yes, he is young and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, even when we're young, we understand, like we mentioned, all actions equal a different type of result. If you do this, that's negative, or you do this action, this is what's going to be the outcome. So you can't sit there and play stuck now. So I think that we do need to acknowledge the fact that, like, sir, you're fucked up for this, basically. You need to get your shit together. If this is your child, if you want nothing to do with the mother, okay, you don't have anything to do with the mother. Take care of yours, make sure your child is good, and go about your day. So that's why, like, when I saw this whole, like, rumor thing, it was crazy because it is believable just by the way that he's been acting. But that's all I wanted to say to the situation. The next thing we want to talk about, right? If I've said this now, I feel like I said this before. We love jamorant. That's my cousin in my head, right? In my head, me and him locked in. We really family. And I feel like, honestly, if we was true blood family, half the stuff that he did in the past, I'd have been in his behind about. We would have nipped it after the first incident. But, maybe some people just don't got people like us in their circle.
No, that the best advice is the one you give yourself. We all have those friends that you tell them, don't do this, this is the way to go. But at the end of the day, you're going to end up doing whatever you want to do. Actually, I'm an example of that. I'm very hard-headed. I ask for opinion, but at the end of the day, I'm going to do what I want. So I think he does have people that clock him. But at the end of the day, he's the one in the court making the plays. So he ends up doing what he wants.
You're right. You do have a point, and I'm the friend who's always there to be the I told you so. So, yeah. So the reason why we're talking about him today is because, if you know, in the past, he's had his own incidents and stuff like that when it comes to like gun-related suspensions, and like an 8-game suspension that he had back in March of 2023, and then a 25-game suspension in the season of 2023 to 2024. So it's like for flashing a gun on social media and stuff like that. So like we've seen him go through these consistent incidences. So when he played, there was already a warning that was issued against him and Buddy Hield.
Isn't that Hield? Buddy Hield?
Buddy Hield.
Or Hield? From the Pacers.
No, girl, what? No, not the Pacers. He's on the Golden State Warriors right now. But basically,
I forgot he got traded.
This is all to say that there was an incident when he was the Memphis Grizzlies, as a team that he's on, were versed in the Golden State Warriors, and he had shot a 3 basically, and he did this like arm thing where like it looked like he basically shooting guns, and so there was a warning already issued against him and Buddy for doing like the gesture. So a few days passed, and they recently played the Miami Heat on Thursday. And obviously, while everything is happening, he does the motions again. So this resulted in him being fined $75,000 for the gesture. So basically, the NBA released this statement saying that Memphis Grizzlies guard Jamorant has been fined $75,000 for twice making an inappropriate gesture on the court. It was announced today by the executive vice president, head of basketball operations. Morant was previously warned by the league office that this gesture could be interpreted in a negative light. The gesture was made by Morant during the win against the Miami Heat, whatever. So I remember the first incident. I'm going to show it I have the Golden State one so you guys can get a better idea of what we're talking about. So this is the one where he was reversing the Golden State Warriors.
Some form of gesture there. You can make that what you want. And then Buddy Hield kind of respond.
Right. So basically, you see the gesture. So when Shayla first sent it to me when we were first talking about the first one, I said, some people just don't know how to learn their lessons. Right. And to me, I understand, like we talked about like earlier, like I mentioned with Anthony Edwards, you have these players who are known for like, you know, their outward personality, doing whatever they want, doing what I feel, doing this, doing that. But it's like, at what point do the consequences start to make you think twice, right? And I understand that's what I love about Jamorant. That's what I liked about Anthony Edwards, is that they didn't care. They're going to do what they want, say how they feel, because that's the type of person that I am. But at the same time, you kind of have to be aware of where you're at sometimes. Or not even just that. Personally, me, I don't like to lose money for real. And if I keep getting fined this, that, baby, I promise you. And I don't like to govern people's behaviors, but there's just a certain amount of money you could take from me before I'm like, you know what? Let me switch this up.
And also, it's just like, what is the reason? Like, you are living out your dreams. In order to make it to the NBA, it's years of work. You know what I'm saying? Years. You finally made it. Don't let this dumb thing be the reason that you get kicked out. Like, if you're fighting for like something that's bigger, but like stuff that like, you don't need to be doing this. You already got a heads up. You already know they got it out for you. Because unfortunately, they are waiting. The same way Draymond is, there's like a list of like 2 watch lists. You know, they got extra eyes on you. Draymond Green's a part of that. Anthony Edwards is a part of that. And so is Ja. So you already know you have to be in your P's and Q's. And do I agree with it? No. But unfortunately, when you are getting paid millions of dollars, you do have to follow some rules. And if that rule is just don't make these gestures, please, it's really not that deep. But on the other side of the coin is the NBA has allowed players to continue playing that have abused women, and it's like, that's okay. Right. But you can't do a hand gesture. So I'm just like, keep the same energy across the board. And like we said, Ja Morant, we feel like he's our cousin. This is just cousin talk. Like, don't, like, the league is scamming you out of $75K. Like, you could have been getting a new watch, new whatever you wanted, a new vehicle for $75K. Your daughter, you could have taken, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't let them so easily scam you out of the money that you're working hard for, right? Day and night, you still put it into work.
Right. So I think that's kind of the thing that I wanted to touch on, is like, on that, 2 things can be true at the same time. And just like what I said earlier with the Luigi incident, I'm like, you guys, you can't deem one punishment or one action worse than other actions, right? So like, I understand they're saying this paints him in a negative light, this, that, and the third. Okay, so how about the NBA players that is out here whooping their wives, who are out here doing all this other stuff, right? Like, I have yet to see that type of punishment be brought up against them. And it's like, I understand you're like, oh, the gesture is this, that, because of his past incidents. Okay. Just, it's like, sometimes you just gotta let people be who they are. And I kind of also wanted to mention the NFL. So the NFL had the NFL officially banned like the nose wipe. And if you know, it's like, I know it from Young Thug, but it could be from something else or somewhere else. Basically, like, it's like slat and like you wipe your nose and stuff like that. So they have banned that, like classifying it as an unsportsmanlike conduct. And I kind of wanted to like ask you, Shayla, right? When it comes to the NBA or the NFL dictating what type of celebrations can be okay and which ones aren't, because if y'all are like, and so I want to also mention, for the Golden State Warriors clip, we saw like it was very direct, like he's shooting at them. But for the Miami Heat one, what he did was kind of like a different variation where he went like this. So it's like like 3 fingers because he's shooting a 3 and he going like this. So it's like, to me, I could take that as the ice in my veins type of celebration when I saw that. So it's like they already saw it from the Golden State Warriors game. So they were already on edge and they were probably like, oh, you're not listening. So let's find you now. So my question to you is, when the NBA and the NFL are creating these rules because of certain players or certain things, do you feel like they are governing the game a little too, like they're making it too restrictive?
My thing is, I think they like Black people and culture when it's beneficial to them.
Wow.
But then when it gets too much culture, then they're like, oh no, no, oh no, baby, you gotta reel it in. And it's just very much a double-edged sword, because a majority of these leagues, the NFL, the NBA, are a majority Black people. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, we need y'all, but whenever they're too authentic, then it's a problem. So my thing is, you cannot pick and choose. This is who they are. Obviously, the whole gun thing, I get it. You're a family-friendly league. Okay, I think for certain things, yes, let's limit it. We don't want to be fighting and just punching people left and right. I understand that, right? Because last week there was a whole thing that happened with the Pistons. They had a debacle. Yes, you need to ban some people. But I feel like you want to ban culture. Like, that is why people follow it. You know what I mean? They like the culture. They like the, oh, what celebration are they gonna do now? And that also seeps into social media. And then like people are talking about it. Like, it's just so much. Like, let's keep the main thing the main thing. Maybe, I don't know, this little Young Thug thing, maybe they don't want to, like, they think that's correlating to drugs or whatever. Okay, I just think sometimes they do get way too overboard and they want to manage people's culture. But unfortunately, that's not okay. You can't do that. You can't do that. I understand that you want to protect, you don't want to showcase drugs and guns and violence. I get it. At the end of the day, this is a big business, a big corporation. But I just think the undertone always gives anti-Blackness. It gives anti-culture, anti-Latinos. Like, we can't whitewash everything. We just can't. You know what I mean? Like, we need some diversity. If every player is the same, no one has a celebration, everyone just plays the NFL, plays the football, plays the basketball, and that's it. No fun. It's like, are we gonna watch? Because that's gonna be boring. Everyone brings something different to the table. They have their dances, they have their slogans, what they do, what they like, and that's okay.
Yeah. First off, girl, you ate down with that point. I don't know if you saw my shock. I was like, oh, okay, we coming out the what? I love that. But I completely agree with you. I think my issue with all this is, like, you're basically trying to police authenticity, right? And I'm not saying the whole John Morant situation, if that's authentically who he is, okay, be authentically who you are outside of this space, because you already see how the issues that you've had previously when it comes to guns, right? So let's go to Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards has gotten fined so many times for the way that he speaks, the way he'll curse in press conferences and stuff like that. But that's authentically who he is. That's how he talks, right? So it's like, whenever he gets these fines, I'm like, y'all are trying to police him to speak differently and basically be different. And it's like, you can't have that. Everybody's allowed to be individual, like, be their own individual, right? And if we policed everybody, we would never have people like Allen Iverson. We would never have the Charles Barkley. We would never have all these different players who have had such an impact on the league, who basically help, like you mentioned, implement and feed culture into the game, right? Yeah. So it's like, the moment you start policing that stuff and trying to deem what should be, like, basically whitewash it down, it's like you just stripping away from the game and just making it boring.
And to be fair, I think the cursing thing is also like a television requirement. Like, you know, when we used to be in the radio, is more so like a fine, you know, you paying for the fine that we getting fined for the cursing. So I do think, yes, certain things, I do think it's okay to ban or whatever. Like, at the end of the day, you're getting paid millions of dollars. So you are going to be held to certain standards, and it's either you with it or you're not. The line to be an NBA player is real long. The G League players are waiting, honey, for you to call me up. So I think there's always a balance, a double-edged sword. I do think it is important to keep as much as we can the culture, the authenticity of every player. But of course, I understand that some things we do have to manage because it's real world.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of wanted to get into we haven't done this in a while, our wind down question. I forgot we had that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, if you are new here, usually we had a wind down question, which is more just chill vibes to wrap up the show. And this week, we haven't done it in a long time. This week's question is, what is your favorite / not favorite things about spring? Because we are in spring season.
I think what I hate about spring, if y'all know this, y'all know 2 things I lose all, like, what's it called, in being independent. I lose all independence when it comes to cars and bugs, right? As soon as spring comes, I just know them critters is coming out. The bees are about to be out. The inchworms are about to come out. I'm not looking forward to it. I cannot. I love the winter. I don't know where them insects go, if they die off or where they go to, but baby, I be having an enjoyable little time. Every time spring and summer hits, especially like when my car, them bugs be trying to come into the car for the cold air. Oh my God.
LOL. So is there something you like or no? It's okay. You don't have to like nothing.
I hate spring. It's like always muggy. It's always rainy. And then it means summer's almost here. And I don't like to be hot. So I don't associate much good except my birthday, I guess.
Okay. So for me, what I do not like about spring is the lots and lots and lots of rain. I understand it. It's good for the environment and we don't want no wildfires. I get it. So for that, I'm like, I get it. It's a part of Mother Nature. We need it. But for me personally, not a fan. Number 2, allergies. I feel like some years are better than others. I remember last year, my allergies were so bad. I'm very anti drinking medicine, but girl, I needed the Zyrtex because I was sneezing and sneezing. And after COVID, a sneeze equates to you're sick. I don't want to hear allergies because there are those people that swear up and down they got allergies. And girl, you got snot all the way over here. Your mucus, girl, you sick. You got the cold. It's not allergies. Like, stop playing with me. You've been. So that's what I don't like about it. But what I do like about it is, number 1, daylight savings. Now I can look outside at 7 p.m. and the sun is still out, because one thing about me, I'm a homebody. And so when the sun goes night, so do I. So I like that the sun is out for a longer period of time. And last but not least, it means that summer is closer. Unlike Rebecca, I do love the summer. I love the beach, the sun. And so that makes me happy. Comment down below, what is your favorite thing or least favorite thing about the spring? Comment down below some flowers or just spring emojis.
I just want to also say, I found out this whole time, like, since you met me, I've been telling you, like, I'm a summer baby. Girl. Spring, like, summer doesn't start technically until June 20th. I'm technically a spring baby. Ain't that crazy? That I was baffled when I found that out. But to me, summer starts in June, so I'm gonna keep saying I'm a summer baby. And yeah, we gonna
whatever makes you happy,
right? So, and I just wanted to say, Shayla said, comment some. You said flowers,
spring emojis. I think flowers is one of those.
And I want y'all to comment down the peace sign.
Okay, well, if you made it this far, thank you so much for supporting us, for watching it. We truly do appreciate. Make sure you please, guys, like the video, comment down below, share with all your friends your favorite part. Tell them we are good vibes over here, okay? Make sure you subscribe as well and follow us on all our social media platforms. That's TikTok, Threads, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you got, we got it at Too Much SB. And we will see you guys next time.
I just want to mention really quickly before we end completely. Remember in the beginning of the show, I said, we need to find out if I was selected for jury duty. That's why I said earlier, I was like, Girl, they actually picked me for superior court jury duty, girl.
There you go.
Y'all, we'll see y'all next week.
Bye, guys.